the savage tribe. New takes weekly, unfiltered and raw. Isaac's voice, the memer's law.
And now Isaac has joined us. He's got a lot of retard potential, and I think he's going to be able to make it to the big leagues of retardation one of these days.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Yep, he agrees. He agrees he's super retarded.
The golden age of America begins right now.
Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Golden Age podcast. We're on episode 9, and getting right into it. Next to me, we have Erwin. How you doing?
I'd like to formally apologize for my behavior last week. The fact that I didn't get you a community guideline strike is very disappointing, and I promise to do better and make sure I get you a community guideline strike this week.
Thank you. We're going to be talking about some Middle Eastern stuff, so please say
you
the
deserve it,
possible.
Isaac.
Yes, I appreciate it. ABF, how you doing? Thank you for coming on.
Great. Great to be here. Normally I don't catch your show because it's right before mine. I only catch part of it, but I guess this is where all the young whippersnappers are at, where we say words like skibbity and stuff like that, right?
That's lit. No cap. Yeah, no cap. For real, for real. Yeah.
Awesome.
So you're catching on quick. Yeah. And now that we're done with that retardation, how you doing, Corn Boy? Thanks for coming on.
I'm doing great, man. Awesome to be here. Let's get into it.
That's right. Let's check in with chat. We got a great crew as always. We got Rizkit, we got Jake, we got Jeff. You guys can look forward to seeing Jeff next week. We'll hoping things pan out. That'll be awesome. Got
assuming your channel still exists after me.
Assuming, I mean, that's being a little optimistic. We'll see how today goes. I have a few memes that might get us in some trouble. We got Lex, we got Alex, we got everybody. So good to see you all. As always, we're going to start out with some memes, some X memes, some Twitter memes that may or may not get us in a little bit of trouble, but some things you may have to look at with your eyes and not say with your mouth. We'll see how this goes. So this is a little leftover from last week. We got a little wound up about, we got the Shiloh situation in Minnesota, and
I can fix it.
I hope she had a happy Mother's Day.
One of them. And not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Yeah, I think that's
so this scene actually gave me an idea, because Disney was wanting to open up their like Abu Dhabi resort or whatever, and in their Star Wars land, you need to be able to kill all of the, like, I said sand
all the
people,
local
and I was told that
actors
was
will
the
be sand people. Tuscan Raiders.
Sand people
Tuscan Raiders. Okay, are we allowed to say sand people?
Sure.
Well, they do have rags.
They're the worst.
We'll just leave it there in Star Wars.
Okay, well, I'm going
the camel and then the
chicken jockey.
Yeah, chicken jockey.
Sand.
Can you say that?
Something. Sand. Yeah.
Sandworm riders.
Speaking of people of interesting heritage, we're gonna get into we had the Indian Pakistani little conflict kerfuffle this week. It kind of got set aside, and as you can see here, it's kind of low quality video, but we actually got exclusive footage of the conflict. This is wild.
Are you crazy? You're fucking you fucking you bloody you bloody bastard bitch. You fuck you bloody fuck you.
So that's a little peek into the situation this week.
That seems to happen a lot between them.
It does, yeah. It's almost as if certain people can't get along too well. I don't know.
Weird.
We should normalize caning. That is one thing the Indians do right.
Caning.
Singapore did it really well, yeah.
Abling as well. Caning and abling I'd be okay with. So
they'll still spit in the street.
This is very true.
At least you get to hit them for it.
And the other ones will still marry their cousins.
Or goats, depending which side you're on. So we have
farm animals away.
We have the president himself. I tell you what, I think he's the funniest funniest guy that's ever held the presidential office in this country. And I agree here. I would pay to see his stand-up routine. I think it would be fantastic. Talk about sharp and quick-witted. I mean, this guy's quick on his feet.
A friend of mine who's
His crowd work
a
is
businessman,
phenomenal.
very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. Highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up
Ozempic?
and he said,
The fat shot?
know what
President,
he's
he
talking
called me,
about.
he used
Fat
to
shot
call me
drug,
Donald, now he
Ozempic.
calls me president, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy,
Thanks.
smart guy, very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. They said,
It's not
he said,
working.
I just paid $88. And in New York, I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on? I mean, I'll tell you.
Nonetheless, I don't know where he gets this stuff from.
Yo,
the
Senate
guy-
is so fat.
Yo, Senate is so fat. Yeah, it's I don't know what to
Your
tell you.
Illinois
I mean,
government is so fat.
I think he's just naturally a funny guy, and he's just working off of memory and just telling stories, and they just come off super funny.
I think you're right. I mean, we watched. You hosted a watch party. We watched episode 1 of The Apprentice a little while back. I mean, even back then, that was a couple decades ago. I mean, he has always been a very enthusiastically just what's the word I'm looking for? Jovial, comedic individual, and he's still got it going into the presidency today. So
Plus, he's got the mind that can make snap judgments, snap references, all that. You know, he's
doesn't
ahead of the
need
curve.
he doesn't need an auto pen to complete his tasks. So one more clip
know
of
very
him.
well. You know, there are
Funny.
3 or 4 of them that do it. And when they took over, Buttigieg, who
Booty ditch.
drives to work on
Buttigieg.
his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship.
Gosh.
You know very well. You know, there are 3 of
So that was perfect. And I don't know if he stated if the seat was on the bicycle or not when they ride it. I don't know if he didn't make that clarification, but we can only assume. Considering,
Was it a banana seed or what was it?
I don't know. It was certainly a interesting situation to say, nonetheless. I'm losing track here. Let me check my tabs. We've got a lot of tabs to get into, so that's kind of getting over. We're verging from the meme section. Pardon me as I try to keep track of what we're on. This kind of still goes along the lines of funny things. We're not going to say the word. We're going to try to not get hit. We're going to be a little family friendly if we can. So we're going to say it this way. The new Pope Leo XIV's brother shared. This is the New York Post. They say gross, but whatever. Shared a post calling Nancy Pelosi a drunk. See you next Tuesday. So the actual sitting Pope, the American Pope's brother, is a MAGA boomer dude from Florida. He is dropping memes. He is dropping hardcore stuff. And he has something to say about Nancy Pelosi. I mean, what do you guys think? This is the first American in that
I think
role
we
in
got
that
the wrong
office.
brother as Pope.
I think so, yeah.
Well, do you remember our discussion the other day about this?
Yes.
Like the comparison between Obama and his brother kind of reminds me of that.
This is very much a Malik Obama situation. What was it Malik exactly said? He said, just plain out, my brother is a homosexual.
No, he
I think.
said, this man is definitely
This man
gay.
is definitely gay.
This man is definitely gay. Yeah. So, one more thing that he posted as I get this. I am trying to find it. Okay. This is same from Lou Provost. He posted this on, it looks, I think, Facebook. I don't know that format, but it says, where does it say, bring me the hostile freeloading a-holes waving their own flags? So going from a Pope that was all pretty much open borders, kind of globalist, wishy-washy stuff, to have one in there now that's has a brother that's this based, saying basically America's for Americans. I think that's a pretty good.
Now we
development on
definitely
a
don't
global
know where
scale.
he stands on the issues. I mean, are they genetic or is it not?
I don't believe so.
Definitely not. If one went into the cloth and one went into the base department.
One last meme that the Pope's brother shared on Facebook. The only African American DNA we found in Kamala Harris was from Willie Brown. So that's the current sitting Pope's brother posted that meme during election season, and have to say, pretty based, if I do say so myself. So that wraps up that little segment. I'm just trying to compose myself with the joy that is I think meme culture is coming back. And I mean, that's an older guy doing it, but we are making a difference. We're making a stride in the culture.
Somebody's got to post the boomer memes on Facebook. I'm
if-
not gonna.
Absolutely.
If it were a European pope, then the Pope's brother would be getting investigated for memes today.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah. So one more meme until we get into the more heavy laden stuff. This isn't even so much a meme. This is from Chase Geyser, who is, he works in InfoWars with Alex. And he posted this today. This is in the press room at the White House. They brought the official InfoWars frog, stuffed frog, the Alex Jones branded frog.
Yeah, he
to
was the one who
podium.
got swatted like days after his coworker got shot. So
Yep.
I'm happy he's getting the opportunity
And
to go
then-
into the White
Me
House.
too.
And then they sent him a bunch of pizzas with the dead coworker's
Yes.
name as the name on the order.
Yes,
Scumbag.
Lovely people.
not exactly subtle. So, but this reminded me of something from a few months ago, about half a year ago. We're going to be careful with these replies. It reminds me of this. This was a little something I whipped up about half a year ago. So it reminded me just like in November, I was saying I would hope to see an InfoWars person at the press room. And it's nice to finally see we have InfoWars people in the press room, even if not press secretary. It's nice.
Chase
to see
says
them.
he wishes he's going, so I wonder who is going.
I don't know exactly.
Oh,
I believe Chase was there.
Was he?
I was told that anything to do with frogs is hate speech.
The
This
guy,
one.
Even better,
the
even
original
better. Depends on the
Pepe
frog.
artist sued Alex Jones because he put Pepe on like a
Because they
poster or
made that
something.
poster right there.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that guy can go fuck himself.
Well, he did too good of a job making a cute little frog.
Yep. I'm very pro Pepe. Always have been. I posted a little too much. It's my reply to just about everything at this point. And I'd say I'm very pro Pepe. Speaking of some internet culture stuff that seems to offend people a little bit, this was a post, probably fake. This is something anyone could whip up. I'm going to zoom in. We're going to see. It says this is from Keemstar, whatever. Apparently this is fake, but we all know people who have gotten banned for things like this. This is on the gaming side of things, which I know ABF, you're a little more well versed.
Diddying.
Yeah. So this is set up to supposedly be from Activision,
What?
whatever. Official player conduct notice. Effective immediately, teabagging or diddying is a bannable offense. This has got to be a meme. It's our continued effort to foster a respectful and inclusive gaming environment. We are updating our player conduct policy. The following actions are now considered to be unsportsmanlike behavior and may result in disciplinary action resulting in temporary or permanent bans. And two of those things are teabagging, rapid crouching over a downed or eliminated player, and diddying, excessive or taunting movement after eliminations meant to harass or humiliate. So
That's wild that they actually acknowledge diddying. That's so funny. But
it
at
is
the same time, like,
Well, Keem says
Yeah.
it's fake.
more
Oh,
than
I
likely.
didn't know diddying was
Yeah,
a
it looks so
thing.
fake.
but if it
It
was
is
real, they don't know
term.
their own audience for sure.
Right.
I mean, that's
that's
what
my
it's
thought
made
process.
for, right?
I
Beating
think
other
so. I mean,
people and taunting them over it. I mean,
it's a
take that
it's a
away.
rite of
Where's the fun?
passage. It's a rite of passage as far as I'm concerned. If you've never done that in a game like Halo or COD, you're just not playing it right, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So we had this little piece of news come out this week. This was kind of interesting. Do you guys remember from that famous Simpsons scene, the Flowers by Irene van,
Mm-hmm.
the undercover glowy boys? So near Brooklyn College at a pro-Palestine rally, there was an ice cream truck that people recorded, and it looked a little sus. So we're going to go down and let's look at this video. Do you happen to defob in the ignition?
That is amazing.
Nobody said these people were intelligent.
In the ignition of the ice cream truck, if that's what you want to call it. NYPD badge key fob, and then you'll look, keep on moving. They have a globe cam up in the corner, so
Of course.
not exactly subtle, I would have to say myself. Interesting nonetheless, but they literally did the meme. They did the FBI Simpsons meme. So
The only thing
I
it's
mean,
missing is the giant satellite dish.
for all you know, I mean, technology's gotten better since then. So
Probably got
maybe it's
a
little Starlink
disc on top.
or something.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm a fan of the First and Fourth Amendment, but if you're a bunch of terrorists, I've got no problem with the police watching over you.
I have no problem with monitor. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having surveillance vans around, just as long as you're not illegally wiretapping or
Now,
doing
when you start dressing up as
Patriot Acts.
protesters and joining them and breaking windows to make them look bad,
Yes.
I'm going to have to disagree with that one.
Yes, instigation is where we draw the line, and violation of rights. But as far as monitoring,
Well, as we know from all the flyers people have gotten, all those Soros protests, they work with the police, and they're the friendly, LEs they call them. And so normally the police work with those groups. So it's good to see them
Yes.
working against them.
that's what it appears like. So it's an interesting advancement, but I just have to say, just that simple little thing of ice cream truck, you just look in the window, it's an NYPD key fob. I could not get over that, and that was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was
So-
like WTO riots. The people would break the windows and then they'd run behind the police barricades and not be bothered because they were police.
Well, they were in blue
Exactly.
cities and they had blue city police. Look who they hire.
So one advancement this week, and I'm glad that we have a president who's competent to handle these things. There is a genocide going on in Africa at the moment of the Boer, as they call it, the white farmers. And we're going to be accepting a bunch of refugees, but good refugees who are here to hopefully assimilate and live the American dream. And here is the president today talking about the issue going on in South Africa right now.
And we don't want to see people be killed. Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have I guess a G20 meeting there or something, but we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of, but it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place. And farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me. But white farmers are being brutally killed.
And I'm not sure how much any of you guys have followed this, but this has been an issue going on for a very long time now in South Africa.
when
People are just being slaughtered
ruling
in their own
party
home.
holds rallies and they chant "Kill the Boer," I mean, it's
Yes.
pretty blatant.
Yeah,
Yep.
what's it called? Like South African necktie or something, where they fill up a tire with like gasoline and put it around you
Yep.
and set it on fire. Lovely people.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Nelson
up with all that
Mandela's
heinous
wife was famous for that.
Yeah, bunch of commie terrorists. Yes.
hmm And so we're going to be accepting some of them. And let's see a little bit more of what Trump had to say on this.
And their land is being confiscated in South Africa. And the newspapers and the media,
It's straight up communism.
and
happening there
television
right
media
now.
doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they talk about it. That would be the only story they talk about. And I don't care who they are. I don't care about their race, their color. I don't care about their height, their weight. I don't care about anything. I just know that what's happening is terrible. I have people that live in South Africa. They say it's a terrible situation taking place. So we've essentially extended citizenship to those people to escape from that violence and come here. Yeah.
So that's
I
pretty
would
good.
prefer zero asylum, but if we're gonna do it, yeah, that works for me.
That's where it's appropriate. Asylum seekers. I mean, we saw for years. I mean, UABF. You're not too far from the southern border, and you've probably seen a lot more than a lot of us have of these stories of fake asylum seekers and stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, the first thing that comes to mind with this story, though, is that they're literally pushing the strong out of their country with the by using the weak. And
Yes.
I'm
They're pushing
happy
the
to
competent
have
out.
them come here if they're people that actually want to wave that American flag. I'm all for it.
I agree
And
with that.
contribute to our society and not just parasite off of it.
These are the strong, like you said, the productive people. These are just the regular working class white farmers from Africa. These are not people who are coming here to take all the free stuff. I'm sure they're going to get here and just get back into industry and living their lives as they were, but in peace this time, and where they can not be worried about persecution because of the color of their skin, like they are dealing with in Africa at the moment. And we can see
it seems so far away from us across an ocean, but like Andy from the Doolies, like member of the Cabal, lived in South Africa.
Absolutely. We've met several people. There's several people I know on Twitter that are living there right now, and they talk about it all the time.
We have quite a few South Africans in chat. You know they're South African because they're really obsessed with the Jews, and they really don't like black people.
We'll be getting into that subject too here on.
I mean, that comes with growing up, in places where you're exposed to them. It's all these white liberals that are all, secluded away from them. That
Martha's Vineyard liberals
are raised up. Yeah, they don't know better, and they think they do, but they don't.
And so I'm perfectly okay with this. It says here, a group of 49 white Afrikaners, whatever, granted refugee status by the Trump administration, departed South Africa on Sunday night aboard a U.S. government-funded charter flight and are scheduled to arrive at Dulles Airport on Monday. So they're more than welcome. I hope they assimilate. I hope they become valuable members of our society. More power to them.
Only people should be coming. The right way. European, Christian, white people. Everyone else, feel free to fuck off or convert to Christianity.
Absolutely. Yep. That's what the founders built this country for. Freedom of religion meant different Christian denominations, not a bunch of barbaric activities. So that's
pedophile warlords.
Muhammad gonna do Muhammad things, but we got these people here. Look at these. These look like lovely people coming to our country. We're welcoming them with open arms. Look they're holding American flags right there. They're not holding their old flag. They're not burning it. They're not kicking it. They're being very respectful, and you can tell they're just relieved to be here. So beautiful sight. And
wait, the African member of the Cabal is white, and the black member is Australian. Sorry, I had a revelation.
It's true when you think
about how diverse we are.
I think,
but notice
that deserves some DEI points. Right
notice how our diversity happened naturally and wasn't forced on us to purposely destroy us.
Absolutely, forced diversity is where we run into some.
It
issues.
Just breeds resentment. That's good for nobody.
Speaking of the breeding of resentment, that's a perfect segue. We're not going to get all.
I say they called us colonizers so they could colonize us.
Speaking of that too, we're not going to get all spurgy. I'm not going to get spurgy. We can get toxic, whatever, X about this another time. But
Erwin will allow it.
International relations, I think, are a very important thing. This is something I think Trump excels in, and there's been a lot of debate on the right, about Trump. Is he sold out to different countries? Is he under influence of different secret shadow figures? Whatever. I've held to the matter for this whole time. I still believe Trump is America first all the way. I think he doesn't care about different ideology. I don't think he cares about ancient conflicts over pieces of dirt. I think he wants what's best for the American people and our country as a whole. That's what I truly believe. And we've got a couple articles going over the relationship with Israel at the moment as a country. And it says here, journalist Dave Riley reported at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, not at Mar-a-Lago. That a Mar-a-Lago insider told him AIPAC was, quote, getting shut out of the Trump administration, and confirmed that former NSA Waltz was working with Netanyahu to undermine the president. So, interesting advancement. This is
the story I heard was it was a general that told him, so it could be even more believable.
It's quite interconnected, and we're going to be getting into a little more details of this. And there's people on the right that are pretty upset with this, but I believe the actions Trump has been taking is in the American people's interest, because as you can see today, we're going to be talking about it. We've got a hostage back. And
wait, did you have the follow-up articles to that one, though? Because two or like three people came out to say that story was bullshit. So just for the record.
Okay, for the record, I'm going to have to look into that more. I'm just going off of the surface level right here of the advancements in terms of the hostage. But
at the same time, I just want to point out that the NSA and the CIA, their sole intention is to make sure we go to war.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so
I'll say
that's
Trump-
something that Trump is the president of peace. I truly believe that.
And he calls he likes to call the Department of Defense the Department of War, like it's supposed to be called.
Yes. I think this is a good advancement because, as you can see here, it says here Israeli officials with Netanyahu's camp are panicking over sidelines of Israel and in negotiations in the Middle East. One prominent advisor in the Trump camp stated, in MAGA, we are not Bibi fans. Whatever, Trump is adamant he wants people to put the guns down. We're going to need more details on that. It does sound like a lot of hearsay. I would like names along with a lot of the stuff where he says one prominent advisor, stuff like that. Some names would be good, but regardless,
I think it's his whole situation is he wants everyone to just stop dying for no reason and let's build some resorts and golf courses instead. Like I do believe that is, even if you might make some mess ups in geopolitics, I feel like he's a good guy when he actually genuinely does want peace and just to build rather than destroy.
I think that's the high road for sure.
I agree, and I think you said it perfectly. He wants nothing but peace. I don't think he subscribes to any couple 1,000-year-old ideologies of this is my land, this is my land. He looks at it like this is a potential disaster waiting to happen, and we don't want to be sending boots on the ground over there to deal with your mess. And we want our people back. And getting our people back, that's something he did today. We got American citizen Eden Alexander. He was held hostage by Hamas for almost 2 years. Biden abandoned him. President Trump brought him home as of today, within the last several hours and stuff. So this is a massive win. I do say so myself. And let's see what the sign says. Thank you, President Trump. And then it says it in Hebrew. So the president brought an American citizen home. I think this is a really cool thing. And I think this is the type of things we need going into the midterms. We need wins like this. We need to be able to say that people are not being held in foreign lands anymore. We have wins like this. So I don't know. We could go down the rabbit hole with it, but
all that whole hostage situation basically is just like a barometer, like a bellwether of our strength in the world. Like if they're like giving them back, that means they're actually scared of us. If they're using them as pawns, like under Biden, clearly we're just the laughing stock.
Yes, if they would not be giving us anything we want if they were unafraid. It's the fact that you pointed out perfectly. They're concerned about Trump, I think.
They go outside to smoke a jihad cigarette in the middle of the night and look up and see a star move, and they wonder if it's a predator drone or not.
Every time they hear a pager beeper go off.
Muhammad can't just go out and hang out with his goats at night, without worrying about a predator drone coming inbound. So,
yep,
it's. I think this is a really good sign, and I want peace. Nationwide. I don't want World War III. I don't want to get drafted. I'm not going to go over to fight wars for any of these people. And it says here, this is from AF Post again, it says that Zionist pundits, Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, are, quote, attacking President Trump for sidelining Israel and talk about Palestine and all the Arab stuff. I want to see more about this. If anyone has more information on this, particularly if Laura and Mark have said anything in particular bashing President Trump, like it's claimed here. I looked at their Twitter. I haven't seen them comment on it, anything other than praising the hostage removal. But interesting nonetheless that they're claiming they are attacking the president over this action. I don't
no
see
side's going to be happy.
No. And I think that's the issue. We do have a lot of neocons that do like blind loyalty to their agenda. That's the issue with both sides. And I think that's the great thing about Trump. I don't mean to constantly be praising him. I don't praise him. I'm critical of him in a lot of other ways. But in this way, I think he is very good at international peace and international relations and quelling the waters of contention between these two adversaries. So we will see. I don't mean to just keep breezing through. There's a couple things I want
breeze away.
I know I'm can get a little spazzy, but we have this advancement from this week. President Trump has signed an executive order lowering prescription drug prices by up to 80%, and in the process, he roasted the fake news ABC, it's saying, but I'm trying to find it. There was another clip where he called one person out in particular. Nonetheless, you can see here it says Americans will pay the same price as the nation that pays the lowest price than anywhere in the world. So I think that's a good standard to hold by. And the country that pays the lowest in the world for that exact medication is the standard we're going to be holding these manufacturers by, and that's what we're going to be expecting to have to pay. So let's see what the president. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you guys remember the reason, well, obviously the election, but one of the big reasons they did the whole releasing COVID on us was because he lowered the prescription drug prices by a bunch, and then he had a trade deal going with China. So he had China pissed and Big Pharma pissed, and then bam, we immediately got lockdowns. So we just got China deal, and he's doing this again. Be on the lookout. The world's not going to be happy about this.
Too, with the Middle
Still
East
needs to be-
stuff we were just talking about.
It still needs to happen though, Erwin, because people are paying way too much for.
Did you think I was saying he shouldn't do this?
Well, no, you kind of made it sound like it was
It's
going to
not that
happen
we're
again. I don't think
paying
it will.
too much.
No, I'm
the
saying
rest
this
of the
is-
world is paying too little.
I'm saying this is a huge deal. The last time they locked the whole planet down and forcibly injected us with experimental poison. This is a big deal. We need to be on the ready.
Yeah.
So you're saying this is a big win, but with said wins, you have to stay vigilant in the process because you never know the people it's pissing off.
It costs 25 cents to make a vial of insulin, and for some reason, they charge $5 for that vial in Mexico, but they charge like $100 for it in the U.S. It's not fair. So now they're going to have to shift the prices, and it's going to come somewhere in the middle.
Yes, they pointed out. Oh, go ahead, Cornbo.
Didn't he sign that executive order last week to defund all gain of function research? So hopefully that was preempting this order here.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if that'll actually do anything, but at least that makes it harder for federal funds to actually fund gain of function research.
I'm hoping this is a positive because this is a necessary thing. I don't see why we can't hold these people to the same standards as other countries. We have been the doormat of the world for years now, and they've been taking advantage of us. And to see this slashed, I think not only is it a win for the American people, but like I said, we need to look forward to the midterms as well. And this is a big win to go forward on. So,
and one thing I want to point out too, Trump signed an executive order in his first term for insulin. Lowering that, just insulin alone, the transparency thing was totally separate. But as soon as Biden got in, he vetoed that, and then waited like an entire year, and then made another bill exactly like Trump's, executive order, and everyone on the mainstream media was like, "Oh my God, this is so great!" And people were like, "Don't you remember when Trump did that? Like only a couple years ago."
Taking credit, that they did so much of that stuff. It's crazy. So he takes something, repeals it, or gets rid of it, implements something of his own of the same. It's crazy, and in the process, American people are suffering just for the sake of saying, "Look what I did." So it's no good. Moving on, we do have a development. This was a clip that people have been sharing around a lot on X lately of Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, and I forget the name of the man on the right, but they were...
That's the German chancellor. Mir.
Right.
Merz.
So developing scandal, this is posted by Alex on X. Macron, Starmer, and Merz caught on video on their return from Kyiv, a bag of white powder on the table. Macron quickly pockets it. Merz hides the spoon, no explanation given. Zelensky, known cocaine enthusiast, had just hosted them, so... All three of these leaders looked a little spurgy, a little happy. They looked a little happy at the moment. And if you zoom in, there's a.
They look like they got caught.
They are all smiles. And then when
Macron
realizes, when he realizes what happened, he puts on that like Eddie Haskell face, like, "Oh, what a dirtbag." Yeah, that little smirk he does right there.
Look at that.
That, and then when I realized, oh, that's a Coke spoon, that merch clearly palms, that's those two things when I went, oh, this isn't just internet speculation. Those dudes are high on Coke right now.
Yes. So tells you the type of people running the world, and the point they made, look at that little flag, little blockbuster colored flag.
Course.
That's
Slava cocaine,
yeah. Thorn in our side. So Nonetheless, I don't know. It just shows you the type of people running the place, and by place I mean world. It's a disaster. So let's get some better leadership going forward. We have another development I'd like to cover. This is from That Park Place. There's been a lot of drama. I was going back and forth with Eric July, actually, on X, talking about the Hollywood tariffs, and I said something criticizing free trade a little bit, and that didn't go over too well with the anarcho-capitalist cloud. I respect them in a lot of ways, but I don't believe total free trade is necessarily the best option with everything, because you tend to get taken advantage of,
It's the
especially by
giant
countries like
sucking
China.
sound. We could have free trade with like
Right.
Canada. You could have free trade with someone on your level.
Right. So it's just not feasible for countries of disproportionate size. So talking about that, it says here, Trump didn't cause the Hollywood global box office collapse. Hollywood did. People are already blaming President Trump on preemptively, before anything's even been put into law. They're saying Hollywood is going to collapse because of the actions of President Trump. Just like they're saying, oh, the prices of Xboxes have gone up because of Trump. The prices of the Switch 2, whatever. So preemptively, the libs all over the internet are saying this is Trump's fault when Hollywood collapses. It's not like they have decades of poor reputation behind them at this point. So just quickly, we're not going to read this entire article, but this week, The Hollywood Reporter ran a smug editorial by Patrick Bruzeski, whatever, blaming President Trump for the film industry's diminishing appeal on the world stage. The argument was that the rise of Trump-era foreign policy has made international audiences recoil from American heroes and, by extension, American movies. Let's be clear, this wasn't a market analysis, it was a political screed, a clumsy attempt to tie Hollywood's ongoing failures to a politician they already hate. Instead of looking inward, the author chose to project the industry's woes on a convenient scapegoat. So we're going to stop there for a minute. What do you guys think of this just constant blaming Orange Man bad when these movies like this, Captain America 4, Brave New World, bombing, all this, is this just more of the trope of Orange Man bad, everything's Trump's fault, Trump literally controls everything, it's all his fault? I think it's
Trump is the only one trying to save Hollywood and keep it from moving to Georgia and Canada and the UK.
Yeah,
I
and
absolutely agree.
Canada and the UK love to spread the woke messaging, so it would actually be better to try to bring, not that we don't do it here, but it might be better if we can self-contain it somewhere.
Yeah, and it looks like I want to see more of what Trump had to do with the advisors he was having, Stallone, John Voight, and Mel Gibson going to Hollywood.
John Voight. It's just John Voight. Yeah, he just named ambassadors, and I'm not sure he told them they were going to be ambassadors. But John Voight actually decided to do something. So we'll just say John Voight is his Hollywood ambassador, I'd say.
Yeah. Still not a bad pick. He's pretty based in a lot of ways. I'm a fan of his in some things, but
last thing I saw him in was Megalopolis, so it's a pretty bad taste in my mouth still.
Okay, I saw the trailer for that and I immediately said no, thank you. So, but moving on from that, it says here, but the box office doesn't lie, and neither does audience fatigue. Hollywood's problem isn't America first; it's content last. So they want to blame America first, but when we know the reason we aren't going to see movies is because it's content last. They're not giving the fans what we want.
It's incompetent writing. That's
exactly.
What it is.
It's not good, and it's made by people who explicitly hate us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And it says here in his Hollywood Reporter editorial, Patrick argues that international audiences are turning away from American movies because of Donald Trump's foreign policy. Really? The audience is turning away from American movies. I'm going to repeat that, because of Donald Trump's foreign policy. He claims Trump has damaged U.S. soft power by alienating allies, undermining democratic institutions, and cozying up to dictators. According to Brzezinski, this global disillusionment is now reflected in the box office, with audiences supposedly rejecting American heroes who once symbolized freedom and virtue.
They talk about like Trump living rent-free in people's brains. Like Letitia James is about to go after him for like undervaluing his property in this dude's brain.
I know.
While she also is marrying her dad for
better
home loans.
loan terms. Yeah.
Wait, do we not even have that? She actually, FBI actually looking into her ass, grand jury and everything.
Grand jury time. No one's above the law.
Bitch.
It's going to be very interesting to see how that progresses because that and also Elin Omar in Minnesota, but they do some weird stuff over in the Democrat
Deport.
Party. But yeah, but the article continues on Brzezinski cites falling favorability ratings of the U.S. in countries like Germany, Denmark suggests that Liberation Day tariffs are soaring global sentiment and points towards underperformance of Captain America: Brave New World as a reflection of this broader decline. He also floats the idea that major studios are self-censoring politically sensitive films, such as The Apprentice, out of fear of government retaliation, and closes by celebrating the rise of international content that distances itself from American cultural identity. I didn't see Captain America: Brave New World. Did anyone here see that movie, Black Captain America? Yeah, I know, Erwin, sadly. Yeah,
You would have loved there's a little Jewish gremlin in it. You would have loved her, Isaac.
Oh, wow. Really? That's fantastic. I might have to see that clip. I need that.
I think she was tarded, too. Not like you tarded, like, I think actually.
Oh, like tarded. Like, okay.
Like, she's like 4'6", so I think, like, her brain didn't fully develop or something. Her face.
So you're saying she was a banker from Harry Potter?
Respectfully.
Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Well, actually, no, she was, but then all the pro-Palestinian terrorist groups made it so Disney changed her to just being a random woman.
Interesting.
Oh, no, she ended up being like a Black Widow. That's what it was.
Oh, that's wonderful. It just makes me really want to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're
Just
looking
like
for your
Edward said.
elite mind-controlled assassin, I usually go for the 4'6" girl, yeah.
Yeah. You know, makes a lot of sense.
Brave New World is super woke, but then like I brought up Megalopolis, self-funded. He's all like, friends for a couple. Oh, it's my vision. No one had any control over me, and that thing was super woke too. And has Shia LaBeouf literally being like a Nazi character, where I think it was him or his supporters were literally wearing red MAGA hats, except it said like "Make New Rome Great Again" or whatever, because they called it New Rome. And at one point, Shia LaBeouf was standing on a tree trunk where a gigantic swastika was carved into the tree trunk. It was the most obvious and so even if it's not corporate and it's their own independent, it's woke as hell, and also lost a staggering amount of money like it deserved.
So they're not even subtle. They don't even try to hide their contempt anymore. They're just right there in your face. I'm glad I skipped that movie.
Yeah, but it's okay they lost all that money, Erwin, because that's the vision that he had. He wanted it to be artistic.
Yeah, just like the trailer, the vision he had for his trailer, he had to take off the internet after like 5 minutes when everyone was like, y'all lying, though.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I personally don't believe that President Trump is the reason Captain America: Brave New World bombed. I don't think that's the reason why, personally. That's just me. Might be far-fetched, but as it addresses...
I say to quote Jesse Lee Peterson, it's because he black.
Pretty
That's
much.
why I failed.
Bucky should have been Captain America. I think we all agree on that for sure. So it says here what's really going on in Hollywood. Captain America: Brave New World didn't underperform internationally because it has America in the title. It flopped because it's a lifeless, neutered franchise entry where the supposed hero stands for nothing but corporate virtue signaling and DEI checklists. So This is a perfect retaliation to that, and I think perfectly accurate in summing it up. That picture's a little bit cursed. It says this is the Nexus mod of Donald Trump as Captain America in Marvel Rivals. That's pretty cool. I didn't know too much about that. I'm assuming, was this mod ever pulled? Does anyone know? Is that still up there?
I want to say it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's why this clip exists, yeah.
Not overly shocking.
Oh, we don't let you have political people, but then everyone pulled up like the Joe Bidens and stuff.
Right. So they do this, and they also nuke all the mods that put male and female versus body type 1 and 2. So It's crazy. It says here Marvel isn't hemorrhaging interest because of Trump's foreign policy. It's tanking because its stories are lazy. Its protagonists are bait and switch gimmicks, and every script feels like a lecture written by a committee. Audiences around the globe are tuning out, not because they're mad about tariffs, but because movies just aren't that good anymore. So rest of the article is on thatparkplace.com if you guys want to check it out. I agree with this what we read totally. It's not political. It's product failure. That's
Before
what
the election, they were begging for Trump to win in Hollywood because they needed his tax cuts. He'd also done thing in his previous term where they got to keep more money from the international box office and stuff like that. And also he did deregulation so they could do all their mergers because they're all failing, so they have to merge. And that's why Paramount and Skydance, they're like, yay! But then they had the CBS interview and that lawsuit. So I covered the articles. They're like, we desperately need Trump. But Kamala 2024.
That's
straight
right.
to hell, guys.
Well, I mean, they're creatively bankrupt, and that goes on to the creatively bankrupt institutions and secondary learning facilities. These writers don't know how to write anymore. They have no imagination. They have no creativity anymore, and look where it's getting them.
Yeah, and
they
the
are
reason
absolutely creatively bankrupt.
the reason why you see so many, red hat analogies and swastikas and stuff like that in movies is because that's all they can think about, and those are the bad writers. We don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And remember,
Exactly.
the left can't meme.
I'm
Not at
reading
all.
Attack on Titan now, and once they get past all of the like Titan killing and all the fun stuff, it very much so becomes like an analogy for like post World War I and like World War II situation with like internment camps and like punishing like Germany after World War I and stuff like that. And it's maybe a little heavy-handed at times, but it's mostly super subtle, and they do it very well because in the East they can still write. Our writers, they can't handle that.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nope.
I think that speaks to makes me the more I hear about stuff like Eastern content, anime, manga, all that stuff, it really makes me consider getting more into it because we're not getting much of anything good out of Western media anymore.
I just found out one of the characters is non-binary, and it pissed me off, but I kind of don't care because they can still usually make him work.
You can tend to overlook some of that stuff. It still kind of sucks that it's there, but ABF recommended to me Battlestar Galactica. I still have to watch the final season. But nowadays, retrospectively looking back, you could almost say, is this woke? Is this, up to our standards now? There's a lot of kind of girl bossy stuff.
I mean, Gary didn't watch it
That's
for
right.
years, he said, because he thought that it was woke because they actually turned a bunch of the male characters into females and stuff like that. But they also did the opposite where they turned, was it Colonel Ty from a black dude to like an old white guy. So they kind of just changed things all around. But no, the strong female stories as hell in that show are actually really good. And we can't have that writing anymore for some reason.
No. And you can tell it's not. It's because they weren't trying to force any sort of agenda. They were story focused. They were trying to put a good story forward first. All that other stuff was not the primary goal. It wasn't so blatantly obvious. And so that's why I think it's ultimately a good show, and I highly recommend watching it. And I need to finish it. I need to find a site to watch it on now because Prime pulled it, and that ticks me off big time.
I got 2 more episodes of My Hero, and then I'm finally starting some SG1.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, might have to hit that after Battlestar too. I've seen a few episodes here and there in the Discord and stuff, but man,
They're always good.
Watch that show. Yeah. And one more article I would like to get into is according here, Doge savings. This is from a month ago at this time. I think we already went over this. This isn't the one I wanted to look at. Never mind. Doge has been doing good
It
work.
was a month old.
I do want to say though, with that, like the left will keep pointing out, well, where's the savings at? Show me exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, where's it going exactly?
Show me the
It's
ledger.
already budgeted, right?
In polls, it's like 75-80% want to put him in prison over Doge, but then also they're like, you're not saving as much as you said. So it's like, do you not want us to cut, or do you want us to cut? Oh, no matter what we do, you're going to be tards. Got it.
I hope
Exactly.
they're paying down the debt with it. I don't know what they're doing with it, but
I don't
So
think we're getting those $5,000 Doge payments. Sorry. is that what
no,
you're saying?
definitely not.
Let me see if I still have the bookmark. Let's see. But I was seeing. Yes, I have it. Let me get
I mean,
that.
that
You just mentioned
barely puts a dent in what they gave out to everyone during COVID. So,
All right. Speaking on that,
got a lot
it says
to make
here, Wall Street Maverick posted this update. Trump has slowed national debt by 92%.
No.
So,
No.
Growth.
Yeah.
Growth.
Come
No,
on,
I know, it hasn't
there,
eliminated it, but-
propagandist. No,
Right.
you forgot the growth. You're just fucking lying to us. It's slow. It's like when they tell us, oh,
It's
look at
slowing,
all of
yeah.
our spending cuts. But their spending cut is we only increase spending 3% instead of 5%. Look at our cuts. You raised it 3%, assholes.
Well, that makes me think of
Inflation
the whole
only went up 2% this quarter instead of 6%. Look, we're slowing inflation. It's
It makes
down.
me think of the 2020. They get rid of all the jobs. You get rid of 5 million jobs, bring 3 million back, and say we made 3 million new jobs. So,
Hey, we're
You
gonna
gotta
hit
start
37. We're hitting 37 trillion in debt
dollars.
slower now. Yay!
Yeah.
But still, it's better.
It's all interest payments.
But are
on
we
the
getting
debt.
more income?
Yeah, 1 trillion a year, right?
But I mean, for the defense budget going up, like you're talking about, Erwin, that's to appease the war machine that everybody says you can't mess with. So this is one way of having the war machine while not having wars. Is we just build up munitions, and then when the next Democrat gets in office, they like to drop them all on Syria and
Give them to the
Ukraine and stuff.
Taliban.
So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Sadly, yeah, and but we've been talking about Doge a lot. I think Doge has done a lot of significantly good things. You know, not as aggressive in some departments as I would have wished, but overall they exposed a lot of good stuff, saved us some money. And it does say here, Elon Musk will be stepping down from Doge, and he will be going back to the private sector, which is good. You know, I think he did his part. He did his time.
And
It's been
it was
over
planned.
100 days.
It's planned. All the left are like, "Oh, he's quitting, guys." It's like, no.
I was seeing people on
Just-
Twitter saying that they're like, Trump is firing Elon from Doge.
Yeah.
Why is this strife in the Trump administration? So you have to be careful what you read. You're right. This was planned. This was not a permanent.
You mean he wasn't the shadow president this whole time? Come on.
Right.
I think the only thing that he had to do Doge-wise was destroy USAID.
I agree
That
with
was that was the biggest and most
Bring in
positive
the big
thing that could have
balls.
happened out of it.
That's one of the biggest wins of the entire administration, as far as I'm concerned. The USAID dismantling that just was causing so much havoc for us, and now it's gone. So
They
it does
really
say
need
here,
to get
though,
rid of Act Blue. Also, you know, get that
that they
going.
do.
being investigated allegedly.
So we'll see what we can get out of that. Act Blue is a whole other thing we could probably devote a whole hour to with the money that goes everywhere from them. But
Yeah, and it's going to be very important in the midterms too.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. Oh, to say the least. You know, that's going to determine the balance of power. And before we get into this article, I just want to quickly say, what was I going to say? President Trump's senior budget officer is expected to take over operations at Doge. So Russell Vought, director of White House Office of Management and Budget, will soon take on much of Doge's workload, including working with Congress to recoup funds, reclassifying federal employees, and advancing his proposed 2025 budget, which would significantly reduce government funding, according to the Wall Street Journal. So don't have enough time to read the entire thing, but I think this is a good advancement. This is pretty good thing. I think Doge still has some life in it, but
we should have a Doge oversight, like as it is, and putting like the OMB in charge
I
of it.
mean,
Makes sense.
yeah, the department's not going anywhere because remember they took over a department that already was there and just kind of renamed it, so it should continue on.
I mean, just as a deterrent for other government agencies to be afraid that they're going to get looked into by Doge is a positive, having it there. So
absolutely.
There you
So
go.
nonetheless, that kind of wraps up all the articles. We have a couple more fun things to look at, but before we do that, ABF has to go get ready for Off the Hip. We're going to be raiding into that in 5 minutes. But ABF, so thank you for coming on. I'm sorry it was a little disoriented, a little hectic today, but I thank you for coming on.
no, it was
and talking
fine.
with
I had
us.
a good time. Yeah, appreciate the invite, and thanks for letting me go on time and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll be over on my
Absolutely.
channel, covering all kinds of funny gaming stuff. Not really too many big stories. I have a whole bunch of little funny stuff today, so we're gonna have a great time over there.
I love all your
Awesome.
random memes before you get to actual tabs.
That might be 90% of the show today. So
Good.
Enjoyable.
That'll be awesome.
Yep.
Guys, definitely go click the link, sub if you haven't already. They have an awesome show. And can't believe we say it every time, but you've been doing it for over a year. Congrats. And it's
I
only
know.
going to get better. So
This will be
This
episode
guy gets the
56.
thumbs
So
up.
that's 56
that's
weeks.
awesome.
Crazy.
13 months. So
Yep.
Well, thank you for coming on, ABF. We'll have to have you on again. You're welcome to come on anytime. The door's always open. So we
Sweet.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll definitely
Awesome.
be returning.
All right. Have a great show,
Very good.
man.
We'll be
Catch
catching
you
you
guys
over
later.
there. We'll see you in your chat. Have a good one.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye. Nice. Round of applause for ABF. We're going to be linking that up in a few minutes. I see the mods are already taking care of it. We got Jake. We just have one more funny thing we're going to look at. I saved this for the end of the stream because YouTube's not going to like it. And that's why
I
I
was
like
about
it,
to say we only got 5 minutes left, and I noticed we're still live, so I've not done my job. So let's
Yeah.
go. I'll read it out loud. Oh,
Yeah. It's a 48-second clip. Erwin, I'm going to need your commentary on this after we
Are
watch
these
it.
some lol cows?
Uncle, he got
This-
the. Yeah, what can I say? Can I say that? Can I talk about what happened with the vaccine or no?
Sure.
So my uncle got the shot, and basically 2 days later they cut his leg off, and now he's dead. And they cut his leg off because like, oh yeah, he's got a blood clot. Or like, okay, and not just that. Like it's like my buddy's dad got the shot. My dad got the shot. Immediately falls down, busts his face, blood everywhere. Never in his life have I ever. I've never seen him fall down. I don't. Think
Did you
he
get
ever
the
did
shot?
before. Bust.
Did
Listen,
you,
listen,
did you get the
listen.
shot?
Fuck no, I'm not retarded. Did you get it?
No offense. So yeah, I had to show that. I don't know if you guys don't
The
know who
rest
that
of them
is.
got
That's a legend. That is a legendary YouTuber. He's got like over 10 million totals. Toby Turner, Tobuscus from old school YouTube, like PewDiePie days. And I watched him over a decade ago, and it's cool to see that he ended up being based, not one of these weird, creepy Minecraft YouTubers that you see. They get older and they're weird, a little bit sus. And yeah, so he's one of the
I
good
can't
ones.
wait.
That clip was awesome.
Can't wait for that Minecraft server, so we can all become a bunch of Minecraft creeps.
They're gonna be,
Creepers.
yeah. So that was pretty cool. Creepers, almost as if it attracts it. So we're gonna do quick outros. Cornboy, thank you for coming on again every week as always. I appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy.
Absolutely. We got your link below. Go follow Cornboy on X, and we got Erwin's links too. I'm sure everybody knows Erwin.
I'm
Thank
going
you
to
for coming on
seppuku
again, Erwin.
myself for not getting you a community guideline strike.
How
I
did you not
failed.
strike him today?
I'm never coming back. I don't even know why I came on here. I'm firing my agent.
Well, you still have time. I'm going to press the end stream button in about 3 seconds. So, Erwin, you have unlimited free speech for 5 seconds.
I'm going
Now.
to say, starting now,